DDS in Benton, Wilkins Auto Body, All Stars and Stitches, Drew and Drew Attorney, Skibo Family Eye Care, Tim Millenbein at Edward Jones, Benton Junior Football Association, and Ren Lake College. Now, let's head out to the field and every action-packed play of Rangers football. Here's the voice of the Benton Rangers, Jim Muir and Justin Wyant.
A very pleasant good evening from Tabor Field in Benton, and welcome back to Benton Rangers football action here on WQRL. Thanks again for joining us tonight. I'm Jim Muir. I'll be bringing you the play-by-play action. And for the second half of the Benton Rangers matchup with the Sparta Bulldogs, again, the Rangers coached by Jeremy Clodfelder. He has an overall record, 34-34 at Benton, 0-1 this year. And the Bulldogs are coached by Rob Kirk. They are 1-0 heading into this game. They defeated Duco last week, 23-0. This is a game that will resume with the second half kickoff. Benton leading this game 21-6, 21-6. All those points were scored in the second quarter. Justin Wyant is alongside, and Justin, we were chatting before we went on the air. The Rangers will get the ball back after pushing across 3 touchdowns in the second quarter, and this is a big key opening drive here for Benton and start this third quarter.
No, you're absolutely right. This is a very crucial opening kickoff. The implications are, Sparta's had time to go. We talked about it last night. They've had time to go home, think about what they did wrong, sleep on it, get up to today early in the morning, get a good breakfast in them. Now they get to go watch a film session on what they did last night. That's not normal. You don't normally get to do something like that. They get to go figure out the mistakes they made and see if they can correct those. I've been watching them warm up out here, and everything they've done defensive-wise has been corners and defensive backs covering receivers. So they're stressing that big time on how they want to cover these receivers, and I don't think things are going to be as easy for Benton here in this second half. Looks like we have a new national anthem, Jim.
We're going to have our national anthem, so let's send it back to the studio for 90 seconds, and we'll come back and continue on with our halftime report brought to you by Drake's Jewelry.
At Subway, we're seriously into veggies, just like you. So we get right to work every morning, selecting the best ones, rinsing, slicing. With this cool, crisp, colorful rainbow, your sandwich comes to life before your very eyes. A one-of-a-kind creation just bursting with flavor. We're all about finding unique veggies. And not just the expected, all kinds, like spinach and red onions. So come in and get your veggie on at Subway.
If you want a huge selection without a huge price, get to Weeks in Benton for the model year-end clearance event going on now. 2015s are arriving daily, so we must move all remaining 2014s. Find the vehicle you want at a price you can afford with 7 brands to choose from. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Polaris, and Victory motorcycles. Now is definitely the time to buy, as there will be huge deals on all 2014 models. That's Weeks in Benton, north of town but south on the price.
You wouldn't go out in a rainstorm without an umbrella. Don't get caught without the right insurance coverages either. When you have an accident or something else unexpected, the last thing you need to worry about is whether you have the right insurance coverages for your specific needs. Call SCD Ray & Sons Insurance Agency in Benton, your professional Pekin agency, for a comprehensive review of your present policies. Be prepared to weather life's unexpected storms. Call SCD Ray & Sons Insurance Agency in Benton at 439-7557 for complete insurance coverages from Pekin Insurance at reasonable rates and with beyond the expected service.
Back to Benton Rangers football on your high school sports connection, Q106.
Welcome back to Tabor Field with Justin Wyant. I'm Jim Muir. Again, glad to have you alongside with us tonight. Justin, if anything, you talked about, I think the point you make is an excellent one. When you look at this game, if anybody had maybe a little bit of an advantage, I think you look at Sparta being able to regroup and go in and really kind of plan for what they want to do to Benton or for Benton here in this second half. But on the other hand, I think maybe the Rangers felt like they scored a touchdown with 13 seconds to go in the first half last night and up the score, then get the 2-point conversion, up the score 21-6. They really had their foot on Sparta's throat at that point. And I think that the delay and the fact that game was suspended last night really hurt Benton a little bit in that aspect. I think the Rangers felt like they had them on the ropes ready to put them away.
Yeah, and we talked about that last night. You, Travis said, the one thing I'm worried about with Benton is can they keep the momentum? Well, obviously that's going to be tough to do, going home and sleeping on it, and then coming back out here 24 hours later and trying to do it again. It's not going to happen. So you have to rebuild that momentum, and that's why I think this opening kickoff of the second half is very important. I mean, Benton was clicking on all cylinders. Caleb Brock was doing an excellent job distributing the ball to a multiple of receivers. I think somebody else for Benton, a couple guys, other than Torres, other than Hayes, even though I still think they can have big halves, I think somebody else needs to step up here, because obviously Sparta's went back, they watched film, they don't want number 6 and number 22 to beat them tonight, so somebody else is going to have to step up. The line did a great job giving Caleb Brock a lot of time to throw the football. I think if they do that again tonight, Caleb's very well capable of doing the same things he did last night.
And Justin, I think one of the things that Coach Clodfelder mentioned this morning on Saturday Morning Talking Sports, and it was a great point. He said, that his staff is familiar with handling a situation like this. A weekend that you and I remember very well.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, we went to Murfreesboro, and we got stopped on a Friday night, turned around, went back down there for an afternoon game on the next day, and he said, he handled that situation, so he said they'll approach this very much like they learned how to approach that game that year. So maybe a little experience for the Rangers in that aspect.
Sure, experience for the coaches is great, but these kids don't have any experience in anything like that, except maybe like a freshman jamboree or something like that, where you play a quarter stop and you play a different team for a quarter. Other than that, I just think that it's very important for them to come out here, get the football, rebuild that momentum, get that confidence built back up, even though I think their confidence is sky high right now with the way they played last night and the way they dominated that second quarter. Just very important to get this ball marching down the field and get 7 points. One
of the things I wanted to ask you about, too, of course, you're a former Benton football player. One of the things that Coach Clodfelder is concerned about is the running game. He said the passing game, Caleb Brock has really assumed the role as the quarterback. He, as you mentioned, got some excellent receivers. The running game is not caught up with the passing game for sure. And he said, Benton, he said, while Benton runs a spread offense, they like to establish the run. So maybe with the passing game developing like it has last night, maybe that will help the running game. Your thoughts on that?
No, I agree 100%. That's just one of the deals that goes with this game. Once one thing on your offense starts to click, it opens up everything else. We saw it, and I thought in the second half, if we'd come out last night, Coach was going to run the ball a little bit more, and we saw it start to open up a little bit at the end of that second quarter. Once Caleb started hitting those receivers and dotting them all over the field, the middle's going to open up a little bit, because now all of a sudden those outside linebackers and those defensive ends get key on that running back. They have to start staying home a little bit, watching the quarterback a little bit more, and guarding their area of the field. I think that is a good point, and I do expect them to come out here and try to pound the football just a little bit more than they did in that second quarter. I think they will be able to tonight. Sparta is keyed up on trying to stop that passing game. Right now is a good time to come out here and smash it right down their throat.
And a really unusual game last night in the fact that the first quarter ended in a scoreless tie, 0-0, and we kind of thought at that point, Justin, we were going in for a defensive battle, and all of a sudden the Rangers started kicking it in gear. And if you look back, I think you got to say we talk a lot about the passing game that we've been impressed with.
Yeah.
You got to give props also to the Benton defense last night. The only score Sparta got was on a muffed punt when Benton set him up in field position near the 10-yard line. So other than that, the Benton defense really solid last night.
Sure. Give a lot of credit to the defense. And in the first game and a half, they've been put into some troubling situations out on the field, but they've rose up. It seems like, the score of the Spartaville game doesn't indicate anything. They've played well here for the first game and a half, and give a lot of credit to the coaching staff above us. They see what's going on the field. They know there's something they can take advantage of in the air, right down the seam in the middle of the field. It worked a couple of times, and Cruz Hayes, Torres, those boys, and Van Horbeck caught a nice touchdown there in the end zone. So, the middle's going to be open tonight. I think the defense will be spread out a little bit more. I look to see more of a balanced second half here out of the Rangers for sure.
And in some games this afternoon that were played after canceled out last night, we'll catch up on some scores. Aaron defeats Carbondale 38-23. It was Pinckneyville, Benton's opponent, next week, hanging 51 on the board against West Frankfort. It was an unusual aspect in that game. It was 14-13 at halftime when that game resumed, and Pinckneyville scored 37 points in the second half.
Yeah, that's just one thing I worry about here today. It just seemed like maybe Frankfort came out there and was like, hey, we're something just, it wasn't Friday night. I don't know if maybe, that's what I'm worried about.
And so a very unusual game there. 14-13 ends up 51-21. And it was all Katie'sville in that second half. AJ loses to Murfreesboro. If anybody was questioning whether Murphy's for real, 38-13 over AJ, and a solid win. Murphy opens up at 2-0. Other games today, it was Johnson City defeating Cecil-Waltonville Woodlawn 21-14, and never did get a final on the Nashville CZR game, Christopher Ziegler-Royalton game, but it was also a final in a game that there was no other scoring in the second half that was played today. DuQuoin 6, Harrisburg nothing, and Harrisburg starts out the year 0-2. DuQuoin evens up at 1-1.
Yeah. Of course, Harrisburg might have one of the absolute toughest schedules in Southern Illinois. Mount Carmel's week 1, DuQuoin week 2. Who do they have week 3? It used to be Marion, but it's not anymore.
Harrisburg, I think this is the last year for Marion. I think they have got Marion this year.
Oh, man.
And let me look at my schedule here. Harrisburg at Marion next Friday night. That's the 8th year on the 8-year contract. So you can rest assured that will be a week 3 game for Harrisburg next year. I can assure you they're probably looking forward to getting out of that one. It's been a rough run for them down against the Marion Wildcats, a school out of the South 7 and a bigger school. Let's get a quick break in. We're going to come back. We're getting set for our kickoff here in just a moment. Back to Tabor Field for the start of this second half of action. Benton leads it 21-6. Back in just a moment.
Everyone has a lunch special, but what's special about it? At Mr. D's, you get great food at the best price, like the burger combo. A hearty, tasty burger, fries, and a drink for only $4.39. That's right, less than $5 for a full meal. Now that's special. Mr. D's has all of your favorites, from chicken strips with gravy to chili dogs to savory barbecue, even a tilapia fish sandwich. Wash it down with your favorite drink like a blueberry Mountain Dew or a milkshake or ice-cold Pepsi. Try an ice cream cone for dessert. Mr. D's Drive-In on North Main, Benton.
The Benton Junior Football Association would like to thank the following businesses for their support: Wyant Surveying, Abbott's 24-Hour Towing, Hobbs Services, Kurt Irwin Construction, AP Excavating, State Bank of Whittington, Q106, Pop's Barbecue, Positive Impressions, Midwest Excavating, Bit Brokers International, Aikens Auto Salvage, RLC Bit Service, Mid-Country Bank, and Gajewski Bulldozing. The Benton Junior Football Association thanks you for your support.
Back to Benton Ranger football on Q106.
Welcome back to Tabor Field. We're set to go. Will Price tees it up for the Sparta Bulldogs. Lead for Benton is Jesse Van Orbeck and Mark Torres. We are just about set to resume second half action. 21-6 Rangers lead it. Here's the kick. It is going to be fielded by Jesse Van Orbeck at the 18-20, turns a corner and picks up yardage down to about the 24-yard line, where Benton will take over first and 10. And talking to go back to what Justin and I mentioned earlier, I think this is a really key drive. Benton up by 15 points right now, and they could really put some distance in there. If you get that third score and go up by 3 scores, that's always kind of a measuring stick right there for me.
I think points on this drive is very critical. You can't go 3 and out for sure and punt, and you can't really drive a little bit, and then punt. You've got to get points here just to let Sparta know, even though you're back here tonight, we still mean business. And if you let them hang around, they're going to think they deserve to be in the game, and they might get back in this game.
Benton will operate from the shotgun. It's Caleb Brock, single back for the Rangers. Clay Kelly. Rock's going to keep it, cuts back to the outside, got a block. Caleb turns the corner, 30-yard line, 35, down to the 37-yard line. Nice pickup there by Caleb Rock and Justin. That's what the passing game does right there. It makes the defense be honest back there, and they stay back at home, and Caleb Rock turns it in to first down yardage.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was a designed pass play. Caleb just saw something he liked over here on the left side, decided to tuck it in and run. He got some nice blocks out of his receivers over here close to us. Anyway, I like it no matter what.
Kelly is a single back. Wide out's 2 near side, 2 far side. Here's Rock. Going to be handoff Clay Kelly. He's trying the right side of the field. He's got a block. Turns the corner. Clay Kelly takes it down beyond the 40 to about the 42-yard line. Nice pickup there, and the Rangers come out running the football. And I think that's a great strategy move by the Benton coaching staff, because Sparta had to be concerned about the passing game.
Yeah.
Knowing how Benton has played under Coach Jeremy Clodfeller, it's been a nice match of the run and the pass. A lot of folks think, well, Benton's a spread offense, they pass the ball, but actually Benton runs the ball more than they pass the ball. Here's Rock again, going to be a keeper by Caleb. Got some room to the 45, lowers his head, takes it down to about the 47-yard line. So Benton running the football and doing a nice job of it. Caleb Brock near first down yardage. He picked up the first down, and that Benton moves the chains again.
Yeah, if I know Jeremy Clodfeller like I think I do, he's probably going to run 6 or 7 running plays in a row, and as soon as you're keying on something, he's going to dump one over the middle to one of the big receivers, and we're going to see how fast he is.
Once again, Clay Kelly is a single back. It's going to be Kelly. Tries the inside, now busts out to the outside, and takes the yard back to about the line of scrimmage, maybe a half a yard. He's near midfield. They're going to spot him at the 49. And, of course, one thing Benton wants to do also, Justin, is shorten this game.
Yeah.
The longer you've got the ball on offense, that just counts down the minutes that Sparta doesn't have the ball. So keeping the ball in the middle of the field like this and running it, 2 minutes off the clock so far on this drive. And Benton with a second down and 9 from their own 49. Again, it's Clay Kelly as a single back, 2 wideouts each side for Benton. Cruz Hayes and Torres to the outside. Here's Torres. Little pass out into the flats, breaks a couple tackles, takes it down past midfield into Sparta territory down to the 45. And Torres got those yards just because he's an athlete, because he's strong.
And a great decision that time by Caleb Rock. The end came around and hit him as soon as he threw the little short pass out there in the flats. Caleb was still able to put it right in Torres' number 6. Mark did the rest of the work.
3rd down and 3 for the Rangers. 3rd and 3 from the Sparta 45. Clock running, 9.5 to go in the third. Benton leading it 21-6. And going to be a flag on the play.
That's defense. Got to be.
That might get Benton his first down right now. The officials confer at the 45-yard line. And now they confer again. Encroachment on Sparta. That'll give Benton a first down. So that keeps me from having to worry what Benton will do if they don't get a first down at the position on the field they were at. At the 45, I'm thinking, what are you doing a 4th down here in that position? Probably go for it, but the 5-yard penalty on Sparta moves the football down to the 40-yard line. Benton with a 1st and 10 from the Sparta 40. Clock running. We approach 9 minutes to go here in the third. Rangers lead at 21-6, third quarter action. Here's going to be Caleb Brock. Spins, turns, and tied up. And Caleb Brock is dropped in the backfield for a loss. We got an injured Benton player down. Looks like Josh Goodwin. We'll wait and see. A 5-yard loss. Goodwin will be looked at. He stays down. I believe that is Goodwin.
66.
Yeah. Josh Goodwin is down. Both teams go their respective huddle. Gives me an opportunity to remind you that STD Ray and Sons, they bring your timeouts here on Ranger Football. They've been serving your insurance needs since 1911, regardless of its health, life, personal, or business insurance. STD Ray will provide service, quality, and commitment. Stop by and visit John D. Aiken or Bob Wright. Give them a call, 439-7557. That's STD Ray and Sons Insurance. Looks like they're working on a
right knee, maybe an ankle.
And we'll continue to wait. Again, our score 21-6, 21-6. Rangers in the lead. 8:45 to go here in the third. And the Rangers leading this one by 15 and in Sparta territory. The 5-yard loss pushes the football back to the Sparta 45. It's going to be 2nd down and 15. 2nd and 15 for the Rangers. Goodwin has not gotten up yet. It looks like they're working on a knee or in that area. Players come out there. They're going to help him off the field. He was a pretty good distance away from the play.
Yeah, he was downfield trying to get a block in. looked like his body went one way and his lower half kind of stuck in the turf here at Tabor Field.
That is 65. That is not good, and that is Dalton Yates.
Yeah, I apologize to Goodwin's family if they're listening. You can not worry about him. He's fine here at 65.
Dalton Yates looks like he's got some issues going on with an ankle, the way he's kind of walking on that. Dalton Yates, he's an offensive lineman for the Rangers. So they help Yates off the field. And we'll be back to action here shortly. 8:47 to go, third quarter action here from Tabor Field. Again, glad to have you alongside with us tonight here on Ranger Football. Benton will be on the road next 2 weeks. SIU 7, EIU 7. We'll try and keep you updated on that. Our friend Ron Van Horn sends me a text message. SIU 7, EIU 7, 9 minutes in the second. Cards and Milwaukee 2-2. Yates gets a nice hand from the crowd. And we'll try and get an update on his injury if we can. It'll be Benton football 2nd and 15. We'll see if the Rangers try and air it out a little bit here. Faced with a 2nd and long.
I go one-on-one right here, Torres, all night long. Throw it up to the big fella and we'll see it go up and get it.
Absolutely. You're playing against a guy 5'5", Torres 6'3". And Rock cuts back, not much doing. He gets it down to the 44-yard line, brings up 3rd and long. I agree with you 100%. Torres is 6'3", and he's one-on-one out there. Single coverage on him, and guarding him, defending him there would be Anthony Carter, 5'5" and 150. They get that matchup.
Yeah, I'm going to that
Yeah.
until they stop it.
Torres will move to the other side of the field. The ends are tight. Cole Richardson splits near side of the field. Here is Rock back to throw. Got a lot of time. Looking. Wings it out. Got a man over the middle. There's Torres. First down yardage, Torres. Takes a big-time hit.
Yep.
It takes it down to the 28, and he pops right back up. He's a tough kid. He comes up clapping his hand. He wants to see the crowd in the game.
Now, he appreciates big hits like that right there. He played a few on somebody. He popped right back up. I like the way he's playing already right here out of the gates tonight. He wants the ball. He wants it every time, and that's the way you want your leader wide receiver to act.
You get him the ball out there in space, too, Justin, where there's some room to maneuver. He could be dangerous out there along with Cruz Hayes. 1st and 10 Rangers from the Sparta 28. Here's Rock. Going to be a handoff. Kelly cuts back. Good speed up the middle. Play Kelly. Great run. All the way down inside the 20 in the red zone with a 19 pickup of 9 yards for Clay Kelly. He just exploded through that hole, Justin.
Yeah, he did. He kept the speed moving. He kept it low. So when he got through the line, even though there was arms and fingers trying to get a hold of it, he was able to just explode through them and fall forward for 9 yards. Again,
Kelly will be the single back. Hayes is the blocking back. Here's Rock, back to throw. Looking.
There he is.
Going for Torres in the end zone over his head. Overthrown, and Torres, incomplete pass. Rangers were going for all of it right there, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1. And you got to kind of like that play with getting going for the home run ball there, and
yeah, on short yardage like that, it gives you options. Now you can run the ball, you can throw the ball here, you can do a little quarterback sneak, a little running quarterback action to either side. 1 yard is very easy to do, especially when you're in 4-down territory. You got 2 chances to get it.
Absolutely, it'll be Rock from the shotgun again. Clay Kelly in the backfield along with Cruz Hayes. Here is Kelly. He cuts back and gets that first down. Down to about near the 15-yard line is Clay Kelly, and he's really running hard. He's just dropping that head and lowering his and keeping those legs moving. And it'll be first down yardage for the Rangers, and the Rangers got something cooking here. They're inside the 15-yard line.
Going on a 6-minute, approaching a 6-minute drive right here to open the second half. Exactly what you wanted to see.
Here is a little reverse. Here's Torres. Cuts back to the middle. Still on his feet. Pushes down inside the 10. The ball pops out. You want to hope the Rangers hang on to it.
Second down. We got it back.
Benton Coming up with the football is Chase Owens. Chase Owens, Johnny on the spot, recovers the football. It popped loose down there inside the 10. And Benton catches a break there. It'll be 2nd down and 4 on a 6-yard gain by Torres. 2nd and 3 from the 9. Here is Rock back to throw, goes over the middle. Got a man, going to be Cruz Hayes, and touchdown, I believe.
Yes.
Touchdown, Cruz Hayes. Touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown pass from Caleb Rock to Cruz Hayes, and the Rangers tack on to a 15-point lead. Benton now leads at 27-6 on a drive that took up 6 minutes and 15 seconds, Justin, and you could not draw up a better game plan to begin the third quarter than what Benton executed in front of us just now.
Number one, that play right there for Cameron, he got hit right in the chest as he was throwing that ball. He stepped up perfectly, knowing he was going to get hit, made a perfect pass to Cruz Hayes. The athlete Cruz Hayes is, catches it, breaks a couple tackles, dives into the end zone for a touchdown, with a perfect mix of passing and running and just a complete dominating drive by Benton to open the second half.
Here's the point after kick. And going to be Hamilton Page rolls to his right, goes to the end zone, and incomplete. Incomplete, as that was a snap that came in low and never did get the kick off. Hamilton Page, the holder, picked it up, rolled to his right, and threw toward the end zone. Ball was up for grabs, but it falls incomplete, and the Rangers will not get that point after. But Benton hangs 6 on the board, and the Rangers lead at 27-6. Benton has a three touchdown lead, Justin, and also used up a half of the third quarter clock, which again, you couldn't draw it up better than what the Rangers executed right then.
Now, if you're coach, staff, player, a fan, that's exactly what you want to see happen when Benton took the opening kickoff, used up a bunch of clock, just give Sparta no confidence at all. Just make them think, we're coming out here, we mean business in the night, we're going to continue right where we left off in the second quarter, and we're going to do whatever we want out here. And that's exactly what they did. They ate up the clock, a perfect mixture of pass and runs, a lot of positive plays. The only thing that bothers me is that extra point left, on the field right there. It's just a 21-point game, so if something weird can happen here, Sparta needs 3 scores and all their extra points, and we're tied up. But the 3-touchdown score, a lead, I love it.
It will be Anthony Carter deep and a squib kick up the middle. Again, botched, picked up by Carter. He is going to be brought down. Good pursuit by the Rangers. They gang tackle Carter at the 30-yard line. Good pursuit by Benton. The Rangers have opted to squib that ball up the middle, and that seems to be their strategy now on the kickoff. And up to this point, it's worked pretty well.
Yep.
Ball just shy, nose of the football shy of the 30-yard line, where Sparta will take possession with 5.5 to go in the third. Boy, big defensive stand by the Rangers right now would look good. Benton defense has been solid last night. Here is Cordes. Handoff to Seth Ferguson, who runs hard, and Ferguson takes it across the 30 down to about the 33-yard line. Pickup of 3 brings up 2nd and 7. Clock running, 5:20 to play. And Benton leads at 27-6. Good third quarter start here by the Benton Rangers. 2nd and 7. Cordes will operate from the shotgun. Split backs are Ferguson and Will Price. Rogers splits to the far side of the field. Here is Ferguson, and he's going to be stood up. Maybe gets a yard before the Benton defense. We talked about this. This Benton defense kind of swarming to the ball right now, Justin.
Yeah, first on the hit right there, Mark Torres on his defensive end position, like to be hit on him, and then a host of Rangers came in to help him out. That's exactly what you want. You want to carry the momentum from your offensive side over your defensive side. Looks like these guys are flying around ready to hit somebody.
3rd down and 4. Big play coming up here. 3rd and 4 for the Bulldogs. They will line up in an offset eye. Cordes, and he's going to hand off and going to be to Devin. Pardon me, that's Elise Nesbitt. Elise Nesbitt.
That was a busted play, it looked like.
And that's going to bring up 4th down.
Jordan Kulik in on the big hit that time for the Rangers from his linebacker position. He saw that play was getting ready to be a busted play. Looked like the quarterback took the snap and turned to hand to somebody who wasn't there, so he just kind of flicked it over there to his nearest running back. Kulik sniffed it out and made a big hit.
Anthony Carter is going to punt it away. Benton defense does its job again. Carter. Here's the punt. It's going to be Torres at the 30, 35, 40. Cuts to the outside on his feet, and a flag on the play. Big hit there as number 64 for Sparta, William Monroe, 6'4" and 225. He popped Torres pretty good, but Torres right back up.
Oh, yeah.
And a flag on the play. We'll wait for the official. Down to the 42-yard line, so Benton's going to have good field position. Looks like his penalty's going to be against Sparta. Hope it's going to be against the Rangers. Pardon me. We're going to mark it back. From the 42, they'll move it back to the 32. Legal block, a 10-yard penalty. Benton will still have decent field position at its own 32-yard line. 3.5 to play in the third.
I like putting Torres in those positions right there. Even at wide receiver, he's just so patient. He lets the play develop. He just finds that open spot.
Here is Caleb Rock from the shotgun. Rock rolls to his right, and he's going to keep the football. Turns to his right, got some room. Caleb Rock, near first down yardage, and that could have been a flag right there. He was well out of bounds when he went down, but no flag. But in any event, I think Caleb got a first down on that.
Well, there is a flag. It's going to be a hold against Benton.
Caleb went out of bounds, rolled out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. But we're going to have a penalty, I believe. And they're going to bring it back. Going to mark it off, and this is going to be against the Rangers, and that's going to negate a nice run by Caleb Rock, first down yardage, and push it all the way back again to the 27-yard line. So Benton started out on the 32, and now they, after the run by Rock and the penalty, they're going to start it back to the 27-yard line, first and 15 for the Rangers. Clay Kelly is a single back, wide outs to each side. Here's Rock. Quick pass out in the flat to Torres. He picks up yardage down to the 35. Pickup of 8 on the play. And boy, Caleb Rock is throwing darts out there right now. Torres went out about 6 yards and turned. Boy, the ball was right there when he turned around.
The thing I love to see what he's doing right now, though, is quick decisions. Getting the ball twisted, his hand finding the laces, and it's out. It's over with. And he's finding his big-time receivers while he's doing it.
Here is Rock from the shotgun. Looks back to throw. Got a lot of time. Rolls to his right. Got a man, Torres, near first down yardage. I think he turned and got the first down.
I believe so.
Great move there by Torres as he caught the football, and then he turned. Knowing where that first down marker was at, he turned. Even though the defender was draped all over him, he had enough strength to go ahead and get the first down. First down Rangers. So Benton picks up 15 yards in that 2 plays after the penalty. 2.5 to play in the third, and Rangers marching on down to the to their own 42-yard line. Here's Caleb Rock again. Rock's back to throw. Got a man over the middle. Going to be caught this time by the Rangers. That is Nick Golfinet, another nation heard from. Nick Golfinet, Cole Richardson, Nick Golfinet, Jesse Van Orbeck, Cruz Hayes, Mark Torres. He has got a stable of receivers back there.
Yeah, and I'm telling you what, he's having one heck of a game here. I haven't added it all up yet, but wow, just the completions he's making, all the receivers he's finding. I can't wait to total this up and see what it looks like.
11 for 13 last night, wasn't he, in the first half?
Mm-hmm.
Here is Rock again. Hand off Clay Kelly. Clay with some room. Turns the corner, takes it beyond the 45, down to about the 43-yard line. We'll wait for the official spot. Clock running. 1:45 to go in the third quarter, and Justin Spartans ran 3 offensive plays in this third quarter. and it's 1.5 to play in the third quarter. So that's pretty amazing right there. The Benton offense doing its job, and the defense doing its job also.
Yeah, everything is so wide open right now for this Benton offense. They got to feel like they can just point at any play in the playbook and get positive yards.
Here is Clay Kelly. Cuts back to the inside with some room. Clay Kelly takes it down, first down yardage all the way down to the 31-yard line. And those worries and concerns we had about Benton's running game, forget that. They're doing a nice job right now.
Yeah, I credit the offensive line for giving Caleb time to find receivers, and now I credit offensive line for opening up some massive holes for these running backs. Everything's working well tonight. It's going to be a huge night for this Ranger offense if they keep this up.
Again, from the shotgun is Rock, Hayes, and Kelly. Here's a little reverse to Torres. Cuts back and loses a handle on the ball. We'll see. I think Benton.
And that's 2 times now he's lost the football. He needs to secure that thing a little bit better.
I think Chase Owens again. That's 2 fumble recoveries for Chase Owens tonight.
Well, right him down. Maybe he's Wilkins. Hard hit, saving a couple fumbles.
2nd and 8 for the Rangers. Clock running. We're at 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. Rangers have done a great job. SIU and Eastern Illinois tied 14 in the second quarter. Thank you to Ron Van Horn for those updates. We appreciate it. Here is Rock, handoff Kelly. Clay cuts back with some room. Clay still on his feet. Still on his feet, down inside the 20, down near the 15, and Clay Kelly certainly running hard tonight. Has the Rangers down inside the 20 to the 16-yard line, Benton in the red zone, and that was going to end our third quarter. It's been a dandy third quarter if you're a Benton Ranger fan. The Rangers have scored a touchdown, threatening to get another one, and Sparta ran 3 offensive plays in the entire 12-minute third quarter. We played 3. Benton leads it 27-6. Back to Tabor Field for fourth quarter action in 60 seconds.
When it's time to make sure your teeth are in healthy condition, call Dr. Simpson, DDS in Benton to schedule your appointment or your child's appointment. Regular cleaning and checkups are part of maintaining your teeth for a comfortable, healthy smile. And if you're looking to brighten your smile, Dr. Simpson offers whitening too. When your teeth need cleaning, filling, crowns, bridge work, whitening, and more, call Dr. Simpson to make an appointment. 439-4364. That's 439-4364 for Dr. Simpson, DDS in Benton.
Hey, this is Coach Aaron. If you need screen printing, embroidery, plaques, or trophies, give the big man, Big Dave, a call at All Stars and Stitches in Benton, Illinois, 435-555-555.
All Stars and Stitches located at 418 East Main Street here in Benton. We're located a half a block from the Benton High School. Our regular hours are Monday through Friday from 10 to 5. We're located a half a block from the Benton High School. What was that number again, Coach?
435-555-555.
Back to Benton Rangers football on your high school sports connection, Q106.
Welcome back to fourth quarter action here at Tabor Field. The Benton Rangers put together an outstanding third quarter, clearly their best quarter of the season. And, Justin, you couldn't draw it up better than that, either side of the football.
No, they came out clicking on all cylinders, like I may use that cliche. They came out, was able to get Caleb Rock back involved in the offense using his arm, and as soon as he did that, they started getting on those receivers again. Now Benton play Kelly and a little bit of Mark Torres running, opening up everything for the Benton Ranger offense.
It will be Benton football at the 16-yard line, 1st and 10, so the Rangers got a chance to blow this one open right here. Rock from the shotgun. No snap, holds it in, going to pitch it out to Clay Kelly. Kelly takes it down to he's brought down at the 18-yard line, loss of a couple. They marked with a 3-yard loss back to the 19. 2nd down and 13. 2nd and 13 for the Rangers, just underway. Fourth quarter action, Benton up 27-6.
About the spot right here where you sneak Torres right up the seam again and see if he gets another touchdown.
Rock from the shotgun, Clay Kelly, and Cruz Hayes in the back there. Here's Kelly on a little reverse up the middle with some room. Clay Kelly still on his feet down inside the 5, first down yardage for Clay Kelly. Boy, he has ran the ball well.
Yeah, ran it real well. Wyant opening up some good holes. Like I said, offense clicking on all cylinders, looking good going into the fourth quarter here. Want to put up a big score right here. Let everybody know they got a good offense along with that defense.
The Rangers with a first and goal now from the 3-yard line. First and goal from the 3. Clay Kelly in the backfield. Here is Rock. Caleb's going to keep it, and Caleb will take it in. 3-yard touchdown run by Caleb Rock, and flags fly in the end zone after the touchdown is called. That probably is going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct, I'd say, on somebody. We'll wait and see. That was well after the touchdown was, the official signal the touchdown was good. 3-yard run by Caleb Rock at the 10:57 mark of the fourth. The Rangers go up 33-6.
Sparta.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. I call that one on the Bulldogs. That's a frustration flag right there on Sparta. They drove a long ways in the last 24 hours, 36 hours, and they gave up that touchdown, puts them at 33-6. Benton's going to go for 2. Here's Rock, handoff Kelly, and nothing doing. Play Kelly brought down the backfield. 2-point conversion fails, but the Rangers had another score on, and Benton leads this game 33-6. And Benton has put together a great second half of play here. We played 13 minutes here in the second half, and Sparta has ran 3 offensive plays. That's a way to keep a good quarterback like Quarters at bay, just is keep him on the sideline.
Absolutely. You got to think, though, they're going to come out now, abandon the running game, and start chucking it ball down the field. So if you're the Benton defense, get to the quarterback, try to put him on his back as much as you can, get the pressure in his face. They're going to try to put up points in a hurry here. They've only got 11 minutes to catch back up for 4-score lead for the Rangers here. So I'm looking to air it out here a little bit.
Benton defense has been solid in this one. Benton gave up a field position touchdown last night when the Rangers couldn't handle a punt and set Sparta up at the 10-yard line. And Sparta took it in and scored. Other than that, they have not mounted any serious offensive threats in this game. So on that unsportsmanlike conduct, that will move the kickoff up all the way across midfield, and Benton will kick it off from the Sparta 45-yard line. So the Rangers ought to be able, with some pursuit here, come out this with and set Sparta back. Here's the kick. It's going to be a good one. It'll be fielded back there by Carter. Carter is going to take it out to near the 20-yard line. They'll maybe a little bit beyond the 20. They're going to spot him at the 22. So the Rangers do a good job on the pursuit, and Sparta will start out back at its own 22-yard line with 10:50 remaining in the game. Don't forget those scoring updates, 14-14 at Eastern Illinois SIU, and the Cardinals lead at 5-2 now. Oscar Tavares hits a 2-run homer and Benton up 5-2. St. Louis up 5-2 over Milwaukee in a key Central Division game in the National League Central Division. It'll be Cordes back to throw. Looks, wings it out on the side, going to be hauled in there by big Ethan Gwynn, and he's going to be brought down with a short gain. Ethan Gwynn, 6'3" and 210. Where's number 99? Those scoring updates brought to you by our friends at All Stars and Stitches. Stop by and visit Big Dave, asking about that incredible $5 T-shirt deal. 435-5555. Here's Cordes back to throw. Flushed out of the pocket, rolls to his right, wings it out, and over the head of Gwynn. Will bring up third down and long for the Bulldogs. Third and long.
Just like I said, got to get pressure on him. They're bringing pressure up the middle and around the end, around the blind side here. As Cordes is feeling the pressure, he had to roll out that time. Didn't have a receiver quite as open as he wanted to, so he just kind of threw it out of bounds to his bench. And that was pretty smart play by the quarterback. Now he's got to line up and try to do it again here. Back way up on a 3rd and 8, trying to convert on this 3rd down.
Cordes from the shotgun. Split backs, Price and Ferguson. Cordes back to throw. Flushed out, wings it out, going deep. Could be intercepted. It is. Chase Owens on the interception, 50-yard line, back across midfield, all the way down to the 38-yard line, and a flag comes out. I think it might be a horse collar tackle. We'll wait and see. It happened right as he rode Chase Owens down. Chase Owens is ripped up on the sideline. I watched Chase play basketball last year. He's not afraid of anybody. Let me assure you of that.
No, plays hard the whole game. Doesn't take a play off. That's the kind of player you want on your team.
Chase Owens, 5'10", 150. Flag.
Face mask?
Face mask. Had him by the face mask. I couldn't tell if he had him by the face mask or by the back of the pads, but in any event, it's going to be a penalty on the Bulldogs and moves the football all the way down to the 23-yard line. And the Rangers can ice this one away with a score here, Justin.
Yeah, you got to feel like Sparta, the Dobbers are down a little bit. They made the long drive 2 nights in a row, come up there and kind of getting pushed around a little bit. So they might have that give-up attitude, and Benton could really put a nail in the coffin right here.
See if Benton goes for a big play here. Here's Rock from the shotgun. Going to be a handoff Kelly. No, Benton's going to keep the middle of the field, run the football, and Clay Kelly down inside the 20. They'll spot him at the 16-yard line. So a nice pickup there by Clay Kelly. Brings up a 2nd down and 4, so a pickup of 6 yards by Clay Kelly, who's really ran the ball well here tonight, particularly this second half. Benton leads it 33-6. Rangers trying to move to 1-1, and they'll face Pinckneyville, a big winner over West Frankfort today. Here's Rock. Handoff. Kelly bounces to the outside and brought down for a loss. Brought down by Sean Rogers in the backfield. For a loss, will bring up 3rd down and 4, but keep in mind Benton's in 4-down territory. Ball spotted at the 22. Caleb Rock from the shotgun. Kelly is a single back. Crusades in the slot to the right. Here is Rock under pressure. Wings it out and over the head of Torres. He was under pressure.
Well, he had Tyler Orr wide open going to the far corner of that end zone right there. You gotta hope Tyler can get one in here. It seems like everybody else on the team's caught a pass. He's wanting his.
Tyler Orr's a kid you got to have a lot of respect for. He's a kid that a lot of folks thought would be the starting quarterback, and he and Rock hooked up in a pretty good competition for that quarterback spot, and it was Rock that won it, and Orr goes to the coaching staff. Claude Miller told the story. Orr goes to the coaching staff and said, hey, I think he's your quarterback, but I want to be a part of this team, and they moved him to tight end, so good for him, I say.
Yep.
Here is Rock. Back to throw, under pressure, throws to his right, wings it out, got a man going to be caught by Torres. He had a knee on the ground when he caught the football. They'll mark him down to 15, but still nice yardage there, 7-yard pickup. And it's going to bring up
turnover.
Oh, pardon me. That was 4th down. So it'll be short for the Rangers, and it'll be Sparta football. But Sparta will take over at their own 15, deep in their own territory. With 8:45 to go in the ball game, Benton leading at 33-6. Rangers have dominated this Saturday night action here. We resume play from Friday night. Here's Cordes throwing it out. Could be intercepted again off the hands of Cole Richardson, who had a shot at it, but Cole was well over the head of the intended receiver, and that was Logan Roberts. So it brings up 2nd down and 10. Sparta from their own 15-yard line.
Yeah, right now the pressure that has been getting to Cordes, even sometimes when it's not there, he's rushing his passes. That was one of those times where he had a little bit more time than he thought. He kind of lofted the ball a little higher than I think coaches and his teammate wanted him to. Just gave Benton, the defender, a lot of time to get there.
Cordes will work from the shotgun. Split backs Ferguson and Price. Wide outs to far side, one near side. Here's the snap. Cordes back to throw. Looking under pressure. Goes down. Chase Owens, and boy, he's had a whale of a second half. Two fumble recoveries, a sack, and an interception. Yep. Not a bad half of work. We still got 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. My goodness. He clearly has got to be our Wilkins, in the lead, it looks like to me, or one of the finalists, I believe, for that Wilkins hard hit, don't you think, Justin?
Maybe a hard hit or a defensive player of the game, something like that.
Sparta wants a timeout. Let's talk this over. That's the first one they have used. 33-6 is our score. The Rangers have dominated this second half of action. Benton has hung 2 touchdowns on the board. Eastern Illinois leads SIU 21-14 at the half. Let's keep you abreast of that game as we move along. And again, those scoring updates brought to you by All Stars and Stitches. Stop by and check Big Dave and ask him about that incredible $5 T-shirt deal. That's All Stars and Stitches. East Main Street in Benton. Give him a call, 435-5555. Also, this time out brought to you by STD Ray & Sons Insurance. Serving insurance needs in Southern Illinois since 1911. Regardless if it's health, life, personal, or business insurance, STD Ray will provide service, quality, and commitment. Stop by and visit John D. Aiken or Bob Ray or give them a call, 439-7557. STD Ray & Sons Insurance. They bring you our timeouts here on Ranger Football. Don't forget to stay with us for our post-game show, brought to you by Jesse Drew Rock and Material. We'll have an interview with Benton coach Jeremy Claudefelder, brought to you by Skibo Family Eye Care. All that comes your way. Conclusion of this game on our Jesse Drew Rock and Material post-game show. Third down, here's a pass, incomplete from Cordes. Intended receiver was Seth Ferguson, and that's going to bring up a fourth down and long, and Sparta's going to have to punt it away again. 4th and 18, and Benton should come out this in good field position.
Yeah, but I also look for a fake of some sort. They're getting to that desperate hour here on this Saturday night where they've got to make some things happen to put some points on the board. They can't just keep going 3, 4, 5 and out and punt.
It will be Carter back in the end zone to punt this one away. Torres stands at the Sparta 42. Here's the punt. It's going to be a high punt. It will take a Sparta bounce, but still Benton is going to take over at the 35-yard line.
We're going to have a roughing the kicker on that, so it's going to give Sparta near a first down. I think they're still going to be short after they mark the penalty off, but they may have to go for it on this. It's about 4th and 3. It was a
4th and 18, so it's a 15-yard version of that. Roughing the kicker will move it 15 yards. If that's automatic first down?
Is it automatic or 15?
I believe it's automatic first down. We'll wait and see what they do there.
Come on, somebody, text me.
I thought I knew what was going on last week when they had an interference call in the end zone. I found out I didn't know what I was talking about.
I was completely wrong. Mouthed every official on the planet Earth, and I was the one that was wrong.
23-yard line, first down. First down, Sparta.
Okay, there's our answer.
Roughing, and there's two versions of that. There's the 15-yard, then there's an inadvertent, I believe. I believe it was like an inadvertent where you try and stop and brush against them, and they call 5. I think that's a 5-yard penalty.
Is that okay? I didn't know if
I believe
high score or not.
I believe I'm right on that, but I've been known to be wrong in the past. Trust me. Here is Cordes. Wings it out, incomplete. Incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 from the 23. Clock stopped on the incomplete pass at 7.5 to go here in the ball game. Rangers leading at 33-6.
And if anybody's wondering, that was Benton's 6th penalty of the night, counting for 60 yards for Sparta, and Sparta has 2 penalties, counting for 15 yards.
Empty backfield for Andrew Cordes. Back to throw. Looking. Wings it out and over the head of Sean Rogers. It's going to bring up third down. Third and long for the Bulldogs.
I was watching the receiver come off the line right there. The one Mark Torres was guarding, and he put a shot on him as soon as he broke from the line. Pretty much stopped the receiver from running his route. Even wanting to run his route, he just kind of quit on him.
Quarters again from the shotgun, empty backfield, back to throw. A lot of time. Wings it out and intercepted. This time intercepted by Cole Richardson. He's going to take it down to the 30-yard line. And Benton will take over at the Sparta 30-yard line. That's the second interception served up here by Cordis. Cole Richardson hauled that one in.
There's also a flag and maybe a hole that he's been.
Going to mark it at the flag comes down to the 35-yard line. Talking to Benton, so it's against Sparta. Holding on the Rangers after the...
No, it was on a receiver while he was trying to run his route, yeah.
So wipe out the interception. And it's going to bring up a third down. And two. Third and 2. For the Bulldogs from their own 33-yard line. And they're going to measure. So the chain gang will come onto the field. We'll see if this is a first down or not. It is first down. First down yardage by the nose of the football, from the white stripe to the end of the football. That's the how much it was a first down by. 33-6, our score here. Be sure to stay with us. We'll have our Wilkins Auto Body hard hit of the game following this matchup tonight. Wilkins Auto Body. Okay, right across the street from Rich Aaron Gymnasium, Wilkins Auto Body. Give them a call, 618-435-9373. That's Wilkins Auto Body. They'll bring you our hard hit of the game. Rangers lead this one 33-6. Benton trying to move to 1-1 on the season instead of a big matchup at Pinckneyville next Friday night.
That's shaping up to be a doozy football game.
I think it is too. And another flag, a delay of game this time, on the Bulldogs. So we can't get play underway for the penalties. Now they'll move it back 5 yards. And we're ready to go again. Cordis, empty backfield. He's from the shotgun. Back to throw, looks, wings it down, the little pass on the flat to Sean Rogers, and good pursuit that time by the Rangers. Cruz Hayes tied him up, and some help came from the outside. And a short gain, maybe a couple yards. Good defensive pursuit by Cruz Hayes. Grabbed the jersey and hung on. Jordan Kulikin to help on that tackle. And it's going to bring up second down and 14. Here's Cordis back to throw. Rolls, flushed out of the pocket. Still got the football. Down the sideline and out of bounds. He's going to be well short of the first down. He goes out of bounds at the 33. He's going to bring up third down and 10. Third and 10. I think Sparta's probably in a position right now that if they don't get this first down on third and 10, they'll probably go for it. With 6:40 to play in the football game and down by a bunch. Two wideouts far side, three near side for Sparta. Here is Cordis. rolls to his left. Under pressure, wings it out, going to be out of bounds. And the Rangers, well, that'll bring up a fourth down. Good pursuit by Benton. In there on that pursuit was Jeremy Clemens, as he was all over Cordes, and he forced that throw to be a little long, about 15 yards too long.
Yeah, if he held that ball for about another 0.3 seconds, it was getting ready to be fumble recovery, touchdown for the Rangers. So he felt the pressure and got rid of it, and now they're back to punt.
Carter will punt it away for Sparta. Anthony Carter. Here's his punt. Torres will let it hit.
Let it go.
And it'll roll dead at the 28-yard line, where Sparta will pick it up, and the Rangers take over from their own 28 with a 27-point lead and 6 minutes on the fourth quarter clock. The Rangers have dominated play in this second half.
Yeah, even since the second quarter began last night, I wrote down the keys to the game. You got to play three phases: offense, defense, special teams. The intensity has to be there all night long. Fly around and hit some people. Something we didn't see a whole lot of against Carterville. I think they played a whole game as good as a game as you can play right now, being the second game of the year. They still have some things to iron out, but the team looked a heck of a lot better Friday into tonight.
It'll be Rock from the shotgun. Handoffs. Going to be to Blaine Tanky, 46. Is that right?
40 or 46? Let's see. 46.
That is Blaine Tanky.
Okay, freshman.
So a freshman getting a few carries in here. Benton has high expectations for Blaine Tanky. He is just a freshman, 5'9", 175. He's one of about 3 or 4 freshmen that's dressing on this varsity. Hamilton Page, another one. You'll hear those names called a lot over the next few years there at Benton High School. Here's Rock. Low snap. Tanky comes up with it and lowers his head. Picks up yardage down to about the 33, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 3rd and long.
That was a direct snap to
Yeah.
Tanky that time. That low directly to him, and it was accidental.
That wasn't trying to fool somebody. Only one was fooled with Caleb Rock, you know?
Yeah. He had some panic going on there.
Yeah. Hey, the ball's supposed to come to me. Rock again from the shotgun, hoping for the football this time. It comes to Rock, and going to be a reverse. We go the other way with the football is George Stiles, and he's a junior. It's his first carry. And that'll bring up 4th down. And some new faces and new names in there on the offensive side for Benton. Jesse Van Orbeck is going to go back and punt the football. And Anthony Carter, who's been very busy for Sparta both last night and tonight, will be back at his own 35-yard line. Here's the punt by Jesse. Going to stay in bounds, and a flag on the play. Tanky will down it at the 44-yard line. There was a flag that flew back.
We got some late game extracurriculars going on. You want to keep it as clean as you can. I know you're out there and you're competing, you're fighting. You want to do the best you can, but you got to stay within the rules.
We'll wait for the official call on this. 33-6, Rangers lead it with 4.5 to play in the football game. Holding against Sparta. And that will push it back a ways. 44-yard line was the original line of scrimmage on that punt, and that will move all back to the 34-yard line where Sparta will take possession. Sparta, after a big 23-0 victory over Duplo, they're going to have to do a little regrouping this week, Justin.
Yeah, and you know what? They're not terrible.
No.
They've got some good athletes. They're just lacking in manpower over there at Sparta.
I've been impressed with Cordes, and I think Seth Ferguson, you will not see anybody running harder than what he runs.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ferguson, there he is. He just lowers his head. I go back to the opening of the game last night, and Coach Slaughter talked about being concerned. I think we were equally concerned on that first they reeled off about 3 first downs, and then Benton made some adjustments and defensively and started stopping that run. But early on, I thought, wow, here we go. This team looks like they've got some good running backs back there.
Yeah, I also like Ethan Gwynn out there, wide receiver, 6'3", 210, 215, soft hands, not ultra quick, not super fast. Gets the job done.
Quarters from the shotgun. Hands it off to Carter, I believe.
Yep.
Anthony Carter on the carry, not much doing there. Halftime score from Eastern 21, SIU 14. We'll keep you abreast of that when we move along here.
Now, I know Southern just cracked the top 25 again. Is Eastern up there as well?
I believe they are. And this is, we had Todd Heffernan on the show this morning. He talked about this was really a key game for Southern. First, a chance to go 2-0 for the first time in a few years. So, big game. Here's a bad snap. Cordes hauls it in, loses the football. Scores all the way back. Benton making a touchdown out of this. And going to be recovered back there by Trey McDaniel, I believe.
Yep, it was, number 1.
Trey McDaniel, as the ball went over Cordes' head, he got a hand on it, went straight in the air, then it went down, hit the ground. Somebody ended up kicking it, and it spurts back toward the end zone, and Trey McDaniel recovers it back inside the 20, all the way down to the, going to be a first and goal. We'll wait for the official spot. They're going to spot him on the 9-yard line, first and goal for the Rangers with 3:05 to play.
Something else I've noticed, I have a visual here on the sideline of Yates, who was injured earlier in the third quarter. He's got a brace on his right knee. Some players are coming up, giving him some high fives, some hugs. Not looking good for Yates. Looks like he might have suffered a little bit of an injury there. We'll have to get a report on that maybe after the game.
On crutches on the sideline. And Benton's going to burn a timeout here. And talk this over with 3:05 to play in the football game. Timeout brought to you by SCD Ray and Sons Insurance. They've served your insurance needs since 1911. Stop by and see John D. Aiken or Bob Ray. Give them a call, 439-7557. Be sure and stay with us for our post-game report brought to you by Jesse Drew Rock and Material. And also, don't forget our coaches' reports will be brought to you by Skibo Family Eye Care. We'll also name our Wilkins hard hit of the game. And I want to remind you that our touchdowns tonight, all of our touchdowns on Ranger football, brought to you by Edward Jones, Tim Millenbein, your financial advisor. Located 112 North DuQuoin Street in Benton. Call Tim Millenbein at 618-438-8690 for all your investment needs, or visit online at edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC. At Edward Jones, Tim Millenbein, your financial advisor.
Let's Hamilton Page is getting some action here. Let's see what he can do here.
There is Page. He goes up the middle of the line, and another flag on the play. Takes it inside the 10, down around the 9, back to the original line of scrimmage.
Motion. Illegal motion on Ben.
So a good opportunity for the Rangers to get the freshman with a few snaps under at the varsity level under his belt.
We've seen Blaine Pankey, the freshman running back, get a couple carries earlier. Now we've got the duo of freshmen in the backfield here on a Friday/Saturday night under the lights game here at Tabor Field. They've got to have a little bit of butterflies flying right now, but this is going to be some good experience for them. They're both excellent athletes, and I look to see them do big things in the next 3-4 years.
Here is Pankey on the carry. Gets to the outside, turns the corner, runs him hard, gets inside the 5. We'll wait and see where the officials spot that. Blaine Pankey running hard. So a couple freshmen in the backfield for the Rangers. Also, Oliver Davis out there. He is just a sophomore. Gavin Richardson is a sophomore. So Coach Clark, they're going down his bench and getting the starters out there, but getting some guys some very valuable experience. Here's Page from the shotgun. Snap gets by him, and he falls on it. And it'll bring it back down to about the 23-yard line. How many bad snaps both sides have we seen in this game?
A bunch.
So counting last night, the ball seemed like it was flying by quarterbacks and punters last night.
That was actually the first one we've seen here tonight, though. And with the weather change like we've had, I've got to think it was sweaty hands and sweat arms, dripping down on the ball. It was tough to get a good handle on it.
Only about a 25-degree difference in last night and tonight. Last night was like a sauna out here. Tonight it's jacket weather. Here's Hamilton Page back to throw. Under pressure, rolls to his right. Still on his feet, wings it out. Got a man open, Oliver Davis, and interference. Interference. And the Rangers are going to come up with
that's a 15-yard penalty. Now, we've seen this last week at Carterville. Let's see if we can get this right this time. That play occurred into the end zone, so that should be a 15-yard penalty and replay the third down, correct?
We'll wait and see. After the fiasco in Carterville last week on that particular play, I will watch this, see what they do.
Now, if it was inside the 15, if it was inside the 15-yard line, it would be half the distance to the goal and replay the third.
The original line of scrimmage was the 20. And they move it to the 13-yard line.
So a 7-yard penalty, and it's still third.
Down over, third down and 13. Third and goal. There's a low snap again. Hamilton Page under pressure. Rolls to his left. Wings it out and incomplete. Had a man open. They converging fast for Sparta was Elise Nesbitt. And that'll bring up a fourth down situation for the Rangers in Benton with 1:41 to go. Might just take a knee here. We'll wait and see.
Hamilton Page showing some serious athletic ability right there. Low snap, picks it up, does a little pirouette, rolls out opposite the way you want to if you're a quarterback, goes out to his left, throws back across his body, makes a pretty good pass. Just broken up.
Rolling to your left and throwing from the right side is not easy, let me assure you. Here's Page again, back to throw. Under pressure, wings it out, and touchdown.
All right.
Touchdown to number 40 for the Rangers. That is Gavin Richardson. Hamilton Page gets his first touchdown of his high school career, and that'll be one of many you'll hear us call for the freshman. Freshman to a sophomore, and the Rangers lead at 39-6. And the point after will be Caleb Bishop. Hamilton Page will be the holder. Here is the snap. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and it is good.
Good.
40-6.
Now, at lunch Friday, I'm not profit, everybody says, but I did tell Severin I think we're going to win 40-6.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. He's probably listening. He's probably sneaking, going out to the car. He's out to eat with his wife right now. He's probably sneaking, going out to the car because he misses me that much. I did tell him, I think I said 40-6 or 40-12.
In any event, the Rangers lead this one 40-6 with 1:35 to go. Benton's going to go 1-1. Sparta will go 1-1, and Benton will travel to Phoenixville on Friday night to play the Phoenixville Panthers, who are 2-0. And that should be a dandy matchup over in Perry County, the brand-new facilities over there. We haven't been there yet for a football game. We were there 2 years ago, and they were in the process of building that press box. And probably one of the more miserable nights I've spent in my life in Perry County that night. Big storm blew through, and we got knocked off the air. And
and it was probably a good thing we did, because the way they had us set up down there to call the game, we wouldn't have any idea what was going on.
Right. Trying to broadcast the game from the sideline, stand on the sideline is a tough trick. But in any event, the Rangers will be at Perry County. That should be one of the premier games on tap next Friday night. The Benton team has done a complete 180 from last week. The running game has been really good in the second half. That's something we'll talk with Coach Claude Felder about. The passing game has been good throughout. The defense has been outstanding throughout. We got lots to talk to Coach Claudeville about on our post-game show. Here's Jesse Van Orbeck. Will kick it away, and it'll be Anthony Carter. He fields it back at the 15, gets to the middle of the field, and goes down, and another flag on the play. And we'll see who that flag is on. Two players, one from Benton and one from Sparta, got tangled up, and I'm not sure who got the lick in, but one of them got a shot in on the other one, and we'll see if that what that call is. Flag flies at about the 45-yard line.
Well, if I could, I'm going to tell you a stat right now that you don't know yet, but I think you'll like, okay? We were wondering about the quarterback situation. Since there was a little bit of debate going into the summer, who was it going to be? There was a little bit of a quarterback, what we call when they're fighting each other for the spot.
Competition.
A little competition going. Caleb Brock tonight only went 16 for 20 for 234 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Wow, 16 for 20. That is 80% any way you add it up, isn't it?
And that's 6 different receivers he hit.
That's an impressive stat. We knew he was putting together a good game. 11 of 13 last night in the first half, and follows that up with an outstanding second half tonight. And I think the key number in there is those 6 receivers. That's spreading it around.
Yeah. Mark Torres, he led the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 receptions for 120 yards and a touchdown. So he knows his big fella to go to when he's in trouble. He's quick with his decisions. He doesn't beat. He's not going to lose the game for you. That's just what you want, a good decision maker back there, and he's also an excellent athlete.
He's got a couple big guys that he can go to in Cruz, Hayes, and Torres, but then he's got some speed to go to in Richardson and Van Orbeck and Chase Owens, and so here comes Carter with a full head of steam. He may score. Anthony Carter gets by the defense. He's to the 20. One man to beat is Chase Owens, and Chase Owens brings him down, but it's in the end zone, and Sparta's going to tack on a touchdown with 36 seconds to go. There's your 40-12 score, Justin, right there. So whether it was 40-6 or 40-12, you're on top of it.
I got it. That's funny. That gives Carter 100 even on the night, and out of 5 carries.
Into 5 innings, Cards lead at 5-2. Ron Van Horn tells me Lance Lynn in trouble the entire game, had the bases loaded that inning and got out of it somehow. They played 5 in Milwaukee, and the Cards lead it 5-2, trying to go up by 4 games. We'll tell you that score brought to you by Dave Severin at All Stars and Stitches. There's a low snap again. Oh, that's brutal.
Oh, no.
The holder lost the handle on the ball, and he was trying to get it and put it on his toe, and the kicker had already abandoned his position.
Oh, the holder put it on the tee and was waiting for the kick, and was just down there looking at the ball, and all of a sudden Cruz Hayes blows him up.
And it looks like when he turns around to see it, he's got an up-close picture of Cruz Hayes looking him in the face.
Oh,
my goodness.
Wakefield Film Day on Monday. They're going to get a good kick out of that in about 5 seconds.
Will Price just turned and ran toward the end zone. I don't know where he was going. I guess he thought he was going to go out for a pass. I guess he figured the holder would just pick it up and go with it. But, boy, talk about a sitting duck.
Wow. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that.
Yeah, I guess you could go to a football game and see something different every night, but that was an odd play there.
Yeah, and it was like in slow motion, too. All the fans over here on the Benton sideline were screaming, "Oh, no!" And here he goes.
You're just waiting on him on the hit to come because you know it's going to happen. Sparta's going to kick it off. Torres, Van Orbeck back deep, Lane Pankey, and also deep is Caleb Rock. No, pardon me. That is Jordan Kula.
I was getting ready to get concerned there for a second. You got Caleb Rock back there returning kick.
I saw a 3, and it's 31. Here is Van Orbeck. And he'll push his way forward.
Oh, boy.
To about the 30-yard line. Torres comes up. Why Torres is even out there is beyond me.
Yeah, I have no clue. He just took a shot right to the face mask. In a 40-12 game, he's your best offensive weapon and your best defensive weapon.
Probably 29-yard line is a spot. the Rangers will take a knee here, I'm hoping, and we'll end this one.
They are. They just informed the official they are going to go into the victory formation and take a knee and get this thing over with.
Peter Brock will line up under center. He will take the knee, and that should do this one. 40-12. 40-12 is our score. Benton's going to move to 1-1. And the Bulldogs are going to drop to 1-1. And Benton will head to Perry County to play Pinckneyville next Friday night in what should be a good football game.
Yeah.
Todd Thomas has got his team playing well. The Benton fans below us under their feet, they're happy with what they've seen tonight as Benton dominated his second half of play. And they win this one by a score of 40-12. Let's send it back to the studio for a quick break, then we'll come back. The Rangers win it. 40-12 is the final. Back to wrap this one up on our postgame show brought to you by Jesse Drew, Rock and Material. Back in a moment.
Dig in with full contact coal miner training at Red Lake College. Learn in our new 20,000 square feet coal mine training center. Use real equipment like continuous miners and power sitters. And check out the new mine rescue and fire safety training tunnel. Associate degree and occupational certificates available.
We're full contact, hands-on coal mining. Real equipment. Real live all the time.
What are you waiting for? Call 618-437-5321 and get started.
You need a law firm who is willing to go and fight for you, whether you're in a divorce, accused of a crime, or if you've been injured in an accident.
I'm Brian Drew. My brother Jason and I's law firm was built on and continues to be run on fighting for our clients. We'll fight for you all the way through trial, be it in front of a judge or jury, whatever it takes. From Cairo to Effingham, from river to river, we're here for you. No case is too big, no case is too small. If it matters to you, then it matters to us.
Because when it really matters, hire Drew & Drew. Call 439-9406 or online at drewlawgroup.com.
Tired of feeling just like another number at the big box store pharmacies? Kimmel Chaplin Pharmacy takes the time to get to know patients on a first-name basis, understand your needs, explain medications, answer any questions you might have, and maintain a great relationship with your third-party insurance, Medicare, or Illinois Public Aid card. Really, it's the prompt professional service and free delivery in the Benton West City area that really set Kimmel Chaplin apart from all the others. Kimmel Chaplin Pharmacy, inside the Benton Medical Center on Bailey Lane.
At Subway, we're seriously into veggies, just like you. So we get right to work every morning, selecting the best ones, rinsing, slicing. With this cool, crisp, colorful rainbow, your sandwich comes to life before your very eyes. A one-of-a-kind creation just bursting with flavor. We're all about finding unique veggies. And not just the expected, all kinds, like spinach and red onions. So come in and get your veggie on at Subway.
Back to Benton Ranger football on Q106.
Welcome back to Tabor Field here at Benton. This game finally completed. It started about 25 hours ago. We kicked this one off here at Tabor Field, and it took us that long to get it done, but at 8:07 on Saturday night, we got a winner here, and the Rangers win it 40-12. Justin, while we wait on Coach Claudefelder on our postgame show brought to you by Jesse Drew Rock and Material. Jesse Drew Rock and Material been a sponsor here on Ranger Sports for a long, long time, and we appreciate the support of Jesse Drew here on our postgame show. But let's talk about some of those stats as the Rangers put together an impressive second half of play here.
Yeah, let's just go through a couple of these for Sparta real quick because they fought hard all 2 days here. Just didn't have enough live bodies over there to keep up with Benton. Ferguson had 18 carries for 77 yards and one 12-yard touchdown run. Carter ended the night with 100 yards even because he had a 71-yard touchdown run there late. Price had one carry for one, and their quarterback added one carry for 6 yards. Price had 2 receptions for 3, and Gwynn, the big tight end / wide receiver, had 2 receptions for 27 yards, one of them being a 26-yard touchdown. Not a whole lot of offense for Sparta. And that's what cost them the game tonight. They just couldn't get anything going at the second half when they got back out here to Tabor Field on Saturday night. Benton, on the other hand, clicking on all cylinders here in the second half. The second quarter on into the second half. Clay Kelly ended the night with 18 carries, 79 yards. He had a 1-1-yard touchdown run. Caleb Brock, he had negative 12 yards is what I got him with. 3 or 4 of those were bad snaps, a -15, -15, and it's hard to recover from that. But he did have a 3-yard touchdown run late in the fourth quarter. Kulik added 1 run for 8 yards. Hanky, the freshman, came in, got 3 carries for 13 yards. Torres had 4 carries for 19 yards. Passing-wise, we talked about it earlier. Caleb Rock went 16 for 20 tonight for 234 yards and 3 touchdowns. Those 3 touchdowns, one of them being Mark Torres on a 71-yard touchdown strike up the seam right down the middle of Tabor Field for a touchdown. Van Horbeck added a 17-yard touchdown catch in the end zone, and Cruz Hayes also added a 9-yard touchdown catch. Torres, the big receiver on the night. 7 receptions, 120 yards. Owens had 1 for 10. Golfinette, 2 receptions for 17 yards. Cruz Hayes added 4 receptions for 77 yards. Just an all-around fantastic effort tonight for the Benton Rangers. 3 phases of the football game shown tonight. Offense, defense, special teams came for 2 nights in a row, and that's tough. That's tough when you put together a first half like we did. All of a sudden, okay, you're told, okay, you can't play anymore tonight, guys. You got to go home, sleep on it, come back tomorrow and try to do it again. They showed up again tonight and got the job done. Got out of here with a 40-12 win. I'm looking forward to next week going to Pinckneyville. I hear they're much improved. They're ready to go. Pinckneyville at 2-0. It should be a dandy football game once we get over there to Perry County next week. They've got the big new turf football field going on, their second full season having turf. They got a new press box. We're looking forward to checking all this out. Should be a good atmosphere over there at Perry County.
40-12 is the final here tonight. Again, our post-game show brought to you by Jesse Drew Rock and Material. If you need dirt, fill, sand, rock, mulch, or lime, the place to go is Jesse Drew Rock and Material in Benton. That's Jesse Drew Rock and Material, our post-game sponsor here on Ranger Football. Let's get one more quick break in. We'll bring it back and see if Coach Clotho is going to join us back after these messages.
Rock bottom prices and speedy delivery. That's Jesse Drew Rock and Material. Decorative landscaping, driveway rock, topsoil, sand, mulch, or lime. Jesse Drew Rock and Material has what you need to turn your yard into a place where you can relax and be the envy of your neighbors. Jesse Drew Rock and Material also spreads dirt and mulch with their Bobcats so you don't have to. Transform your yard or drive into something you've always imagined. Call Jesse Drew Rock and Material at 927-7857. 927-7857.
If you want a huge selection without a huge price, get to Weeks in Benton for the model year-end clearance event going on now. 2015s are arriving daily, so we must move all remaining 2014s. Find the vehicle you want at a price you can afford with 7 brands to choose from. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Polaris, and Victory Motorcycles. Now is definitely the time to buy, as there will be huge deals on all 2014 models. That's Weeks in Benton, north of town but south on the price. Back to Benton Rangers football on your high school sports connection, Q106.
Welcome back to Tabor Field. Our coaches report brought to you by our friends at Skibo Family Eye Care, located at 4200 Hillberry Road in Mount Vernon. Skibo Family Eye Care, where they offer full comprehensive eye exams, contact lens fitting, and evaluation, pediatric and school requirement eye exams, retinal imaging and testing, and pre- and post-op management of cataracts and LASIK procedures. Give Dr. Emily Miner Skibo a call at 618-242-6338. That's Skibo Family Eye Care, 4200 Hillberry Road in Mount Vernon. They bring you our Coach Review report here on Ranger football. With Justin Wyant, I'm Jim Muir, and we are joined by Benton Ranger head football coach Jeremy Clodfelder. And Jeremy, we talked this morning on Saturday morning, talking sports, about the importance of this opening drive. Benton ahead 21-6. You get the opening open on offense. Talk about that opening series. Benton totally dominated the third quarter.
Well, like we talked about, I felt like we needed to turn out, wanted to establish run football. We kind of got our 2 tight ends set. Even out of our spread set, we kind of got it going a little bit with the option stuff, the bubble and all that stuff. So to put a drive together like that, I thought was huge. It really popped their bubble. When we went up 3 scores, the 8th clock, I think we scored probably Billy Yates half the quarter up.
5:45, 6:15, yeah.
So just a really good offensive football drive. And we did it a little bit, balanced. We ran a little bit of the option stuff. We ran power up inside. We did some counter stuff. And and we threw it around a little bit in the drive. So I thought it was a really nice total drive.
Coach, going into the half last night, we were on a pretty good roll. It seemed like we had all the momentum. Younger players are building some confidence going into the break. How concerned were you coming in, knowing that you had to you had to go home, sleep on it now? Were you concerned at all coming back into the night?
Well, I mean, I think you're always concerned because you don't know, like we talked about a little bit last night, you don't know what they're going to go home and what they're going to work. And we got to watch them pregame and work on the street work. We actually went home, put the lights on, had practice last night, and we got a little talky in pregame and telling us they were going to put us where we put us in our place and so on and so forth. So I thought our kids, from this morning when they arrived at 9 through our team lift, all the way through the arrival today at 5 o'clock, I thought they were just really ready to go. I could just kind of sense it. They were ready to go out and play, and they backed it up. They went out and did it.
And you talked this morning. You used the word concern about the running game. The passing game looked great. You got Torres and Hayes and Richardson and Van Orbeck and Owens. You got a bunch of them out there can catch the football off the net. But the running game. But tonight the running game, Clay Kelly, I thought really ran hard tonight.
He did. He had a great game. He had his pads down. I thought we got off the ball. We created some seams in the power game for him a little bit. He stuck his foot in the ground and got a little cutback. And one thing he did a little bit better tonight than he did a week ago, and even last night, was he finished his runs off. He had his pads down. We're still a little bit too high. We got to get our guys' pads down when they're trying to finish off runs. If we finish off a run, it could be the difference between 1 and 3 extra yards. So we got to get their pads down. But I thought he did a nice job of leaning forward and at least lunging and trying to push off that back foot right before contact, just try and get that extra push.
Talk about your junior quarterback just for a minute. The decision-making he made tonight, it just seemed like the ball was snapped to him. He flipped it, found the laces, and in about 2 seconds, that ball was out of there. Tell me a little bit.
Well, he does a good job, especially in the quick game. Now, we want the ball out pretty quick. It's all based on timing from a hip standpoint, depending on what route and stuff we're in, what route combination. But he is just, you can tell he is just getting more confident by the play, not necessarily even by the game, by the play. He's getting more confident. We pass protected, I thought, pretty well again.
Yeah.
He really went through his progressions. He's just growing up. He's growing up and becoming hopefully the quarterback we want him to be, and some of the quarterbacks in the past. We got to get him when he's running the zone to put his foot in the ground and get more north and south, or east and west when we're playing here, vertical, what have you. But he wants to string that thing out instead of sticking his foot in the ground and trying to get vertical. We got to get that. That's a mentality. We just got to get that thing going. And but I'm telling you, here's the thing. From about the second practice of Tuesday at the last week of July is when he flipped the switch and took this over. So he really probably didn't even have it until about Thursday or Friday of the end of camp week, August 1st. And he is really, from a leader, before we go out tonight, he's got the offensive lineman all over there in the corner themselves talking to him about, you guys can do this. You got to establish a run. Just from some leadership things that he's been doing in the locker room with the other guys and the way he's playing. I'm very pleased. We're going to continue to try and grow and develop, but I'm really pleased with the way Caleb plays.
The numbers on Rock tonight: 16 for 20, 237 yards, 3 touchdowns, 6 receivers, 6 different players. Receivers catch the football. Those are some good numbers.
Those are great numbers. The other flip side, we talked about that this morning a little bit in the show, was, everybody talks about balance being run-pass. Are you 50-50 or are you 60-40, what have you. Balance is a two-way street now. Balance can be run-pass, and balance can also be based on distribution. How many guys are getting touches? Because if you're balanced run-pass, you keep defenses kind of in limbo, not sure. But if you're balanced in distribution, if you're balanced as part of your distribution, you make it even more difficult for people to get a beat on where the ball's going from there.
And one other thing we want to mention, certainly the offense turned the corner in this game. But I thought certainly don't want to slight the defense, because you take away 2 big plays. We have a muffed punt return, and you give them position inside the 10. That's 1 touchdown. Carter breaks away late in the game on the 2nd touchdown. Other than that, the defense was solid.
Well, sometimes you have to talk the defense off the cliff. So there were still a couple of ones in the game we hadn't got rolled out yet. We got some 2s in there and some 3s in there on the defensive side of the ball right as he bust that one. So you're kind of talking to the varsity guys and saying, hey, we're trying to get some younger guys and some tools, some experience, and you don't take any. I mean, there's no shame in that. And that's how guys grow and develop. They get experience playing the game. When you're the one defense and you've given up 6 points, and the only 6 is on a muff punt on a short field, that's a little frustrating if you're a paper leader. And we talk to our kids all the time. Don't be a paper leader. Don't lead the stats. None of that stuff matters. What matters tonight is we're back to 1-1 and we're even.
And you know we're not going to let you enjoy this very long at all. You know that's the style here. Pinckneyville next Friday night at Pinckneyville. They're 2-0. They hang 51 on the board against West Frankfort, 37 in the second half. Big game coming up Friday night.
Absolutely. And we're going back on the road, so we've got to kind of grow up and see how we handle the road a little bit differently. We handled home nicely. Our first road trip, very enjoyable. It wasn't for any of us. So we've got to figure out how to do that. And, it really comes down to practicing and preparation. I always think that's the most important part of the process. We didn't have a great week before in terms of practice, and we didn't know who we were. And then I really thought, especially Tuesday and Wednesday this week, we had a great week of preparation. Our guys were focused. They were locked in. People were quiet. And, if it's any translation, this is what happens when you prepare well, and that's what happens week one when you don't prepare. So hopefully we'll have that mindset of going back and getting back to work and preparing the right way. I had a chance to go down today, and we watched half of the Pinckneyville game. And, at one point in time it was 27-21 in the third quarter, and then some crazy stuff happened. There were some ejections and things like that, and then Pinckneyville went on a roll and kind of ran it out of there. They're fast. We got some pretty good size, and we do a lot of change and shifting formations. Of course, we'll get into that later in the week in the pregame show and all that. But it was good to get our eyes on. We got a whale of a kicker now. Ooh, boy, hit a 37-yard field goal. It's nice and probably good for 45. We won't enjoy this long, especially since it's Friday night or it's Saturday night now. So it's kind of enjoy it. Start to get the game trade taped in and go to church in the morning and go to work. I'm not sure you could draw up a better game plan than what you had tonight. I mean, I think exactly what you wanted to happen happened. It did. Appreciate it. Very good. Thanks, Jeremy. We appreciate it. Right. That is Benton coach Jeremy Clockfelder. Again, that post-game coaches report brought to you by our friends at Skibo Family Eye Care, 4200 Hillberry Road in Mount Vernon. Give Dr. Emily Miner Skibo a call at 618-242-6338 or visit them online at SkiboFamilyEyeCare.com. That's Skibo Family Eye Care. They bring you our coaches view report here on Ranger football, and of course our post-game show every Friday night, every game we play here on, whether it be baseball, football, basketball. Our friends at Jesse Drew Rock and Material. If you need dirt, fill, sand, rock, mulch, or lime, the place to go is Jesse Drew Rock and Material in Benton. Give them a call today, 618-927-7857. That's Jesse Drew Rock and Material, our post-game sponsor here on Benton Ranger football. Justin Wyant alongside, and Justin, we were talking on the during the intermission. We named a hard hit of the game, but boy, the kid stood out to me on the defensive side of football that you and I both talked about. We're going to give that hard hit tonight to Chase Owens, and what a game he had, particularly the second half.
Yeah, it does the little things for your team, the little things that don't show up in the box score that you need to get over the hump in a game like this, where it looked like it was a defensive grind. It was going to be a defensive grind until Benton's offense was able to get clicking, but Chase Owens comes in there, gets 2 fumble recoveries here in the second half to keep drives going. He got an interception to end the drive for Sparta, and he had a sack late in the game here, or beginning of the fourth quarter, I think it was, to kind of stall out a drive for Sparta. It's just a kid. You got to have kids like this. You've got a motor that don't quit. He's giving it 110% for the whole game, and that's just the kind of player we like to see out there. So we're going to give it to Chase Owens.
Chase Owens is our Wilkins hard hit of the game, and I want to remind you that Wilkins, we certainly appreciate Wilkins Auto Body and their support here on Ranger football. Wilkins Auto Body, they want you to know you have rights. Don't let your insurance company tell you where to take your car. Take it to the name you know and trust. Take it to the professionals. Take it to Wilkins Auto Body. That's Wilkins Auto Body, located on East Main Street in the blue and white building right across the street from Rich Aaron Gymnasium. Give Wilkins Auto Body a call at 618-435-9373. That's Wilkins Auto Body. They bring you our hard hit of the game here on Ranger football. Justin, a final word, and we'll get out of here.
I just thought it was a great overall performance. I don't want to say game because it was a performance. It was a 2-night performance. I think, the coaches got this team back on track now. After week one, it looked like they were a little bit lackadaisical, so he got them all together. Leaders are starting to step up now. When things go wrong, you got to have leaders on the field to kind of get things back in the groove. I think we saw glimpses of that now this weekend, so I'm looking forward to heading over to Perry County next weekend and see if we continue to roll.
We feel like we've got a good one in front of us next Friday night at Perry County when Benton will take on Pinckneyville. Pinckneyville, of course, is 2-0 after that win. They concluded their game today, this afternoon, against West Frankfort. You heard Coach Clark say it was 27-21. The final ends up being 51-21, and Pinckneyville is at 2-0, so that should be a dandy matchup next Friday night. Ranger fans, head to Pinckneyville and support this team. This is going to be a fun team to watch this year. We're very excited about the game tonight, and we are happy that the Rangers picked up the 40-12 win over the Sparta Bulldogs. It took us 24 hours and 25 minutes to get this one in, but we've got a winner here tonight. The Rangers win it by a score of 40-12. For my engineer back at the studio, Ashley Bites, and for Justin Wyant, I'm Jim Muir, and I'm speaking for all the good folks at Dana Communication. I want to tell you, we hope you enjoyed the broadcast tonight as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. Once again, the final, Benton wins it by a score of 40-12. Have a great rest of your evening, and God bless you.